I'm so sunburnt right now. Just cooked some good food. I also had tortellini, but you didn't see it because I was eating it while I was cooking the stuff that you saw that I was cooking. And so it was already gone by the time I filmed. So as you saw, I just spent around an hour earlier in the day. It's like 2:44 now, but earlier in the day, like 11:30, I spent an hour trying to land an ollie. I did not succeed. But that's okay, because I didn't expect it to get it when I was only practicing it for an hour. It's probably going to take me, with the time that I have now, and I can't like practice it all day, it's probably take me like about a week to get it. But that's besides the point. Now, I learned about the word that I'm going to talk about around a year and a half ago. Not like I learned about the word, but I learned about the word and I applied the definition of the word to my life around a year and a half ago. Could have been later, could have been sooner, I don't know. And that word is dedication. And I learned about dedication when I kind of realized that in my dancing I was starting to settle. And what I mean by that is that I wasn't pushing myself. I was comfortable. And I realized that I wasn't good, but I didn't care. Now I care, but then I didn't, and it was a problem. And I could have quit trying to ollie after the first 15 minutes of not getting it, but I didn't, because I wanted to get it. And honestly, I actually made a bunch of progress. Back to what I was talking about before. I've since realized that there is no easy way. I know that if I want to be successful in dance, I have to work to be able to do that. And that's okay, because I have the capacity in myself to be able to do that. And I've gotten a lot better than what I used to be. But this word, dedication, applies to so many things. But in specific, it targets that people sometimes do not try. There's a famous quote by Jedi Master Yoda that states, "Try not, do or do not, there is no try." And while I agree to that to some extent, there is still trying. But not in the sense that you're thinking. Trying to me is just working. Like, I was trying to land that ollie, but I wasn't landing the ollie. And so I was working at it, I was thinking about it the whole time I was doing it. I was like, okay, pop, slide the foot, level out the board, land. Of course, I never actually got to the in the air part. And some people think that you can just mosey your way on through life and you'll be successful, but that's ridiculous. It doesn't work that way. If you ask any successful person, be they a YouTuber, or an actor, or a musician, or a skater, or like anything, a small business owner, a big business owner, they will pretty much all tell you there's one key to success, and that is work. And like billions of people have made videos about success, and they pretty much all say the same thing, and that's that you have to work. But in today's society, we look at this word work as such a bad thing. It's like, oh, I have to go to work, I have to work. But you have to do it, and you have to do it in a way that's enjoyable for you, or you have to do something that is work that is enjoyable to you. Because if you're working and you don't like what you're doing, then then you're just, I don't know. I can't vibe with that. Everything I do that's working, I like to do. I do it because I want to do it. I do it because I love it. Like every time I spend my time editing videos after I get back from dance class for like 4 hours, and it will be more in a couple months, like I do that because I love it, and I like making these videos, and I love dancing, obviously, and that's why I spend so much time doing it. But I also spend a lot of time dancing because I know that that's what it takes to be able to be good, and even I don't do the things that I need to do to be able to be successful, and that's something that I have to work on. We have such a focus on money. It's kind of sad at times. We have such a focus on making so much money, but you don't really need a ton of money to be able to be happy. I could choose so many different professions, from dancing and being creative and making videos or writing or doing anything that I do that's creative, because all of my hobbies are creative. But I don't, because I love doing those things, and I know you can make a career in those things, you just won't necessarily be successful to start. But that's okay, because I'll still make enough to keep myself happy while still doing something that I love. Because if you're not doing something that you love, then you're not happy. And people now are so focused on the easy way out. People always look up easy ways to learn how to or easy ways to make money, or easy ways to do such and such. But it's like, if you're doing something easy, like, how is it? It's not a challenge. It's not something to do. It's just, you're settling. It's, what's the point in that? And again, any successful person will tell you that the key to success is wanting to be successful, needing to be successful, and working. You just need to work. There's really no other way to it. You have to work. You have to put yourself out there, depending on what you're doing. You just have to work, and there's no other way to say it. I just stuttered. And another important thing is not making excuses. See, before I started vlogging, I knew that I needed this camera. I wanted this camera, and I needed this tripod, which I love, by the way. You should definitely buy one of these if you have a camera. But I used that as an excuse to not start. But then I realized that I already had a camera. It's right over there. And that's what I started filming on, because I knew that I wasn't going to get it for a while, and I wanted to start. While I still had these ideas fresh in my head, I wanted to start. And so that kept me going until I got this, and now I love this, and it's amazing. But until I got this, I used the things that I had, and after, obviously, I used my phone too. I hate using my phone. I hate using my phone. And I see this a lot with creative people that have, where there's tools, right? So if you're a photographer or a cinematographer, there's like a camera that you want, and so they don't do things because they don't have that camera. Or musicians, they don't play because they don't have, like, you know, like and these aren't expensive, but like, you know, they don't have like a Les Paul Standard, it's like a $3,200 guitar. Like, they focus so much on the tools, but not the art. A really great quote by Casey Neistat that addresses this, and I'm just paraphrasing, I can't remember the quote exactly, but it says that if gear was what made you good, then all of the rich people would be good, but that's not the case. Usually successful people start on something crappy, and then they get successful and they get better and better gear until they're at this point, and then they have the expensive gear, but they don't start with the expensive gear, they start over there with the not so expensive gear. I'm getting off topic, but the general thing is just work, guys. Like, you just have to work. There's nothing else to it. And I'm not a good example because I'm only 17. Like, I'm not successful, right? I just kind of really, like, I'm now discovering this productivity thing. But it's like, I mean, everyone always looks for shortcuts, but there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. You just have to work. The shortcut is working. And it's not a shortcut, it's a long cut. It's like a super long cut, depending on what you're doing and how good you are and how fast you get good at it. I didn't do any cool angles for today's rant because I was so focused on the words that I had in my head, so I didn't think about the camera. I just kind of talked. Sorry about that. There's enough rain stored on this planet to feed the population for 2 months.
Oh yeah, zesty ranch, spicy barbecue.